I said in our first edition what
Tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay. And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away. As you fade away.
This is Rouser Radio, and we didn't fade away at all. We just took 2 weeks holiday, and we're back fresh and ready to give you a little bit of a tweak from 7:30 to 8:15, and then at 8:30 back with Mirador Television. I'm Keith Hayes. We're broadcasting from the White Hart Hotel, bang in the centre of Lewis. The usual faces here to greet us this morning: Wes and Steve, and of course the indefatigable and always lovely Jane. They're all here to say hi, and it's great to be back. Absolutely great to be back. And if you happen to be on Lewis High Street, mind you, if you're in the north of Scotland listening, chances are that you won't be. But if you are, stop by. Come in and get a cup of coffee, because it's a great way to start the day. It really is. They are a great team here. They always have smiles on their face. They are superb hoteliers, if you like. It is now 7:35, and we will start off by, something called In 5 Straight Rows with the Mini Vandals. What the hell? doesn't get you going first thing in the morning, nothing will. That's the 5 straight rows from the mini vandals. Bang, 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 bang. Getting us out of bed on the 22nd day of August 2022. What's you going to do outside? Well, it's a typical English summer day. Some sunshine, taking it to 21 degrees. Not the hottest day that we've had this year, but nonetheless, it's still quite warm. A light drizzle is forecast for parts of the day. Scattered cloud, scattered sunshine, scattered everything this morning. A bit of a mixture, so be prepared. Even if you're out and enjoying walking in the warm day, be prepared to dive into a shop window if the drizzle starts, because it could easily do so. And generally speaking, this is the coolest day of the week. It's going to warm up again as the week progresses. Some people say that we're going to have that heat wave again, but certainly it's going to hit 24 or 25. So be prepared, be prepared. This is Rouser Radio that you're listening to out of Lewes in East Sussex. I'm Keith Hayes, and this is the bit that comes before our television service at 8:30 with Mirador Television. And myself, Suzanne Mouchot, and the possibility that the young Max will turn up. So we'll see where we are as we go along in the morning. And nothing is ever sure on this station, this broadcast station. We never know what's going to happen. And why should we? Because that's what life is all about. Shall we take a look at the newspaper headlines? I'm sorry to get into doom and gloom straight away, but the first thing is that the I newspaper says the cost of living debt crisis looks as if it's going to really strike fear into the hearts of people with the energy bills. According to a poll for the iPaper, more than 1.7 million households are thinking about or have already cancelled direct debits to energy suppliers. It comes as bills are expected to rise to £3,500. The paper adds, with energy firms urged not to chase those who cannot pay, Charity Age UK has warned that there could be a record number of pensioner deaths this winter due to rising heating costs and NHS pressures, and has urged the government to offer significant help. Well, Liz Truss and Rishi Sunak are still fighting over the same thing. One says tax cuts and the other says no direct help. And who's going to win the day? Well, I can't say that either of them have excited me, but there we go. If that's the only choice we've got to go with it. The Daily Express: get paid to turn off your washing machine. The Daily Express says that the national grid bosses want to incentivise people to avoid using electricity between 1700 and 2000. For those who are not familiar with the 24-hour clock, that's 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock in the evening. That's described as the high demand slot. Power-hungry appliances such as washing machines, tumble dryers, and computer games consoles eat up the electricity. An application has been made to the regulator Ofgem for permission to introduce the scheme by late October. Well, I'm not sure which scheme they're talking about there. I suppose they have to ask permission to actually give you an incentive, cut the cost. Okay, The Guardian: crisis in care home staffing leaves residents with basic needs unmet. This was something that right throughout the pandemic, it's almost been 2 years or 2.5 years that this has been an issue. Care home residents are being put at risk due to a severe lack of staff. The Guardian says, in some cases, people have been left in their rooms for 24 hours a day, denied showers for more than a week, faced assaults from other residents, and left in their own urine. Staff shortages were identified by the paper at 3/4 of care homes in England. The Daily Telegraph, NHS 111. Right, okay. NHS 111 patients on hold 20 times too long. It says that turning to emergency care, the Daily Telegraph says that people calling NHS 111 are being left on hold 20 times longer than the expected time of 20 seconds. The average time to call answer was 6.5 minutes. The paper adds the latest official figures say some patients have reported being left on hold for even longer, up to an hour, and others have waited overnight for a doctor to call back. Boom, boom, boom. Same old problems. The Daily Mail. New blood tests could stop 1 in 10 cancer deaths. Well, a holy grail trial by the NHS could save thousands of lives a year. It says the NHS is trialling a blood test for those over the age of 50, which could prevent up to 1 in 10 cancer deaths in the UK. The Health Service is carrying out a world-first trial of the test, which is designed to detect more than 50 kinds of cancer before symptoms show. If successful, the test could be rolled out more widely to 1 million people as soon as 2024. And then, after that, it would go nationwide. Everybody could get it over 50. The Times. All work and no PlayStation gets girls beat boys in GCSEs. But that's actually not the headline. That's just the top story on the front page. Tory voters still want Johnson to be the leader. Ha ha ha. Surprise, surprise. The Conservative voters have expressed seller's remorse over the ousting of Boris Johnson. The Times has asked for some polling and focus groups, and that's the answer. The paper says voters would prefer Boris over Rishi Sunak and Liz Truss, with little enthusiasm in marginal constituencies for the Tory leadership hopefuls. And I'm not a bit surprised, because the level of the standard of MP that we've now got in the House of Commons is appalling. It's woeful. And why? Because we went through all these ratios. We've got to have so many women and so many black people and so many homosexuals and so many this and so many that and so many the other. I don't care whether they're all women. All 650 of them could be women. All 650 of them could be black. All 650 of them could be gay. I would not care one little bit as long as they were good at their job. The trouble is that putting together ratios, so you've got to have so many of these and so many of those, is that we're ending up with a whole bunch of ratios and none of them with any skills. I don't care. I don't want gay people in there if they can't do their job. I don't want black people in there if they can't do their job. I don't want white people in there if they can't do their job. I want people who are capable, because the country is in one hell of a mess. And it's basically because the paucity of standards in public life and the capability of doing anything about meeting the crises that we've got. Ha! Ha! Well, let's get our act together. And I am not a bit surprised that the marginal constituencies, particularly those that only just squeaked in last time on the back of Boris's popularity, are saying, bring back Boris. We don't have any faith in the present two, and I have to say that the present two have just squabbled about the same thing. They've come up with virtually nothing new. Well, you may say, there ain't much new. We're in the SHIT, but we like to think that there are new ideas and new thoughts, and not just cut taxes. You do that, you're in trouble. Give direct help. You do that, you're in trouble. Bing bong, bing bong. Come on, get a grip. The Metro. Tyson's Fury at the cousin's killing. Tyson Fury, the boxing champion, is calling for a crackdown on knife crime after his cousin was stabbed to death at the weekend. The world heavyweight champion said in a post on Twitter that his relative Rico Burton was stabbed in the neck overnight. Mr. Burton, 31, was attacked in Goose Green, Altrincham, which is Greater Manchester. The Sun. Bloodbath on the street. Tyson's hell as cousin is knifed. And the same story. 2 men have been arrested in connection with the incident, in which a 17-year-old also suffered serious injuries. The paper adds that the 34-year-old sportsman who died has called for, that's Fury, has called for tougher sentences for idiots carrying knives. Right, okay, the Mirror. Same thing, all 3 papers. Oh, that's interesting. Tyson Fury's plea, end this knife horror, it says. Star calls on government to get tough after his cousin, 31, is stabbed to death. Oh, the cousin is 31, Tyson Fury is 34. The Financial Times, is, what is it? Top Russian diplomat dismisses chances of Ukraine peace deal. The Financial Times says that a senior Russian diplomat has warned that Moscow does not see a possibility of a diplomatic resolution to end the war in Ukraine. The 6-month mark of the start of the invasion is this week. Gennady Gatilov, Russia's permanent representative to the United Nations, said the United Nations should be doing more to end the conflict. Well, you're probably right there. And the Daily Star. You can always bet on the Daily Star giving us just a little bit of a smile, a little bit of a smirk. Ha ha! Because it appears that wasps that are coming in from Germany, finding their way here, are feasting on some of our food that is rotting and fermenting. So as a consequence, they are drunk. And it's so basically the wasps could care less who they attack or what risks they're taking in attacking because they are peed. And here's young Max come in, fresh from his holiday, travelled the world, what he has, during the holiday break. And anyway, have you suffered from any drunk wasps, Max?
Drunk wasps?
Yes, apparently the wasps which are coming in from Germany are feasting on rotting fruit which is fermenting, and they are getting peed. Pissed,
you know,
in other words. Yeah.
I think I have. we have a wasp nest in my backyard. It's actually in the roof of our house, which is quite annoying. We can't open any of the windows in this heat.
Oh, gosh.
But, we see them crawling around almost like they're dying, but then they fly off all weird.
Well, there you go. You've heard it direct from the horse's mouth that this is a true story, and the dear old Star has got it right. Okay, let's show you. Well, here's one that I'm always playing. Is Down with Your Get Up, also by the Mini Vandals. So let's have a little taste of that as we go in at 7:52 this morning. This is Rouser Radio. you cracking this morning with some pretty lively stuff. It's now 7:55, 5 minutes to 8 o'clock, on the morning of the 22nd of August, 2022. What a year it has been. And today there are mixed headlines, as indeed there is mixed weather. 21 degrees is the likely top today, much cooler than of late, but don't be fooled, it's going to get warmer as the week goes by. Today we could have a bit of a breeze, yes, a mild breeze. We could have scattered cloud, which means scattered sunshine, and also it's possible that we will have a bit of a drizzle from time to time. So be prepared. You've got to be prepared for almost everything as far as the weather is concerned as you march through today. Newspaper headlines. Well, the one that catches the eye really is that Tyson Fury, I think his name is, is yelling at the police to get a grip when it comes to knife crime. As somebody else, which in fact on Sunday was stabbed to death, and it turned out to be his cousin. And he is saying, look, nobody's doing anything about people carrying knives, and it's time that the police did. And in fact, the police inspectorate last week was very critical of the police, pointing out that they should start to prosecute minor crime, so-called minor crime, and that only about less than 5% of burglaries and those sort of crimes were ever brought to court, and that not too many more were really investigated. That they were pushed through as a piece of paper, just to say that they've been recognised and they've been accepted.
Well, maybe they should bring back stop and search.
Well, there's a good point. You see, with somebody like me, it's gone over my head that they stopped stop and search.
They stopped it because it was racist.
Oh, God, not that card again.
So it was racist to do stop and search, and then what would you know? They stopped it. Knife crime went way up.
Yes.
So surprising.
Yes. Well, I've just had a go about the House of Commons, and I've said that I'm fed up with ratios. I really do not care what colour, creed, sexual orientation, ethnic origin, sex, or anything else that anybody is. I just want people who can do the job, because patently they can't do the job. And the fact that the most of the voters, on the Tory side anyway, want Boris back rather than the two people who are strutting the stage at the moment, it speaks volumes. Because basically what we had was a lot of petulance over whether he had an iced cake when he shouldn't, a glass of champagne, and a half packet of crisps. Oh, yeah, I understand the ethics. And he was a bit of a naughty boy. But to dump your leader when there are so many crises was totally irresponsible. And now we are reaping the wild wind. And what's likely is that we're going to get a Labour government. And with all due respect, it doesn't matter whether I'm a Labour, Conservative, Liberal, or anything else. There ain't any of them, none of them, worthwhile putting in charge. Really, not one of them. The leadership is in tatters on both sides, on all sides for that matter. The Liberals aren't making any sort of impact. And if you really want to have some sort of taste of Liberal leadership and Liberal ability, all you've got to do is look locally. Is the Liberals and the Greens have actually screwed everything up very badly. To be quite honest with you, I cannot see who is going to take over.
Can I just say something about
You can.
Labour? I was talking to Stuart before the break, and he was saying he wouldn't ever vote for Labour again because of what Jeremy Corbyn said. Because Jeremy Corbyn said at the debates on the national stage, what was it? The IRA don't mean any harm.
Well, I mean, he said all sorts of silly things, really.
Yeah, well,
And,
he said,
yeah.
yeah,
And
quite a lot.
the trouble is that it was pointed out over the weekend by one critic that Keir Starmer was fully supportive of Jeremy Corbyn for a good part of his tenure. And to sort of turn on his leader, former leader now, has he really changed? Or is he a chameleon who just changes his spots to suit the situation?
Well,
I have no confidence in any of them. No confidence in any of them. A plague on all their houses. And it really brings into question is democracy as we understand it. Is it fit for purpose? I think that question has got to be asked. Oh, my God. Oh, how can I possibly question our present system of government? Well, I've supported it for God knows how long. And don't start to talk to me about proportional representation. That is not the answer. It doesn't change anything. In fact, it makes things worse because people start. Well, first of all, you don't know who the hell you're putting into the House of Commons because it is done on membership of a party. And secondly, is that's when deals are made. When you've got lots of minorities, they start to make deals and they start to make promises, and they don't pay any attention to what they said in the run-up. In their election promises, is they're too busy making deals to stay in power or gaining power. So that lot can get dumped straight away. And if anybody knows, they learn the lesson, it's the Italians. But is our present system good enough? I think it's been tampered with too much by all this woke nonsense. We've got to have representatives from here, we've got to have representatives from there. Oh my goodness me, if somebody doesn't use the proper language, they shouldn't be standing for Parliament. Oh, bugger that. Let's get some plain talking. We are in the mire. We are suffering badly because of bad leadership, and not just us. You know, our so-called system of democracy around the world is not working. But then again, the authoritarian rule of a single leader, if you like, with no opposition and really not really much of a mandate from his population, it's not working either. Right? Take Russia, and for that matter, now take China, which is getting itself into an economic mess. You know, Turkey is another one. But what has the Turkish leader done to combat inflation? He has lowered interest rates. He's taken them down. The traditional way of curbing inflation is to raise interest rates. Well, either he is so clever that we haven't seen it, or he's a complete and utter idiot. I suspect the latter. There is nobody in leadership. Mankind has lost its way, totally lost its way. And I cannot see any way out, frankly. I really can't. The trouble is that the consequences of our leadership at the moment are such that our way of life is going to be disrupted for a long time. That war is going to raise its head again, which it often does in times of economic stress. And that those people who are in charge this time are not going to show or don't have the leadership that is called for when one nation is battering the brains of another. 803. 803 it is. What should we do? Let's go for breeze, shall we? We'll go for breeze. Yes. Every little breeze seems to whisper Louise. 8:05, and that was The Breeze by Telecasted. At 8:05, at 8:06 now, God bless it, a minute ticked by, we're finishing that off, on the 22nd of August, 2022. And by the way, let me remind you that next Monday is a holiday. It's a public holiday, and that's crept up on us, hasn't it? It's one that sort of is tucked away, but you don't have to get up next Monday morning, whether you're on holiday or not. Oh, foldy-roll and fiddly-dee. You can have another good day of going down to the beach because it looks as if the weather is going to hold for another week. At the moment, today looks as if it's going to be the coldest day of the week, only 21 degrees, and a little bit of a miserable drizzle. Was it drizzling when you came in, Max? No, it's dry still. It's dry, so now is the time to get out and do your shopping and get the paper. And if anybody is going to work, and I doubt that it is, buses are empty, the roads are empty, nobody is going to work, and I don't see that improving. Everybody is so used now to working from home, which of course they don't. You try to phone, and the phone system. I mean, I actually O2, right? O2, a telephonic company I wanted to pay a bill the other day. It was only £4, but I wanted to pay a bill. So eventually I phoned, and the lady who took my call is very pleasant and had a nice chat. She said, I can't take your bill. I have to put you through to somebody else. So I went into a queue and eventually got hold of this lady who apologized for me being in the queue, but she was working from home. And sometimes when the ladies who were at work put them through, they put them through to those who got big long lines of calls. Oh, yeah. Tell me how it's all working. I mean, it really, I've been having a go at our leadership as far as the governance is concerned, both local and national. But let's have a go at people in the corporate world because they are as bad as anybody else. Leadership has gone through the roof there. There is no leadership. They all rely upon computers, and try telling them, no, we can do it. Well, I'll tell you, I spoke to somebody the other day, and we made a nice arrangement that I would only deal with people on the phone. What happens is within minutes, the computer sends through something into my inbox. Yeah, they're in charge. Balls. They are not in charge. Nobody is in charge of anything anymore. We're cascading out of control. The computers only do what they're told to do. They're not. Somebody was talking about artificial intelligence yesterday to me. Well, artificial intelligence, yes, it is good when it's told what to do and it follows that. But when, in fact, there is any flexibility required and changes, does the computer change? Of course it doesn't, because it's not told to. And there are no human resources left to tell it to. Oh, I'll tell the computer people. No, you won't. Or if you do, there are no computer people, or the computer people don't listen. Or it's too much trouble to change the program. Relying on computers the way that we do is a complete and utter disaster. And that has got to change. Got to introduce flexibility into computers. Yes, of course computers help us. I couldn't be broadcasting to you now unless it was computerized. But you have not got a tinny voice that comes out of a computer saying, good morning, it is a nice day. Instead, you've got a human voice saying, good morning, it's a nice day. Oh dear. Well, I'm back with a bounce. And I can tell from the look in his eyes and from the fact that he had a good time that our Max is back with a bounce. So, we look forward to seeing you in 20 minutes' time when we start a new autumn version of Mirador Television, although at this first week we are just having found out a few things over the holiday period, as we are going to be instituting them this week, working on it. So it will be really the 1st of September that we come back with a real bang, and we have got some crackers lined up for you. We've got some really good programs. So bear with us this week while we do a little tinkering, a little chatting with you, and I'm happy to say that we will then go from strength to strength as the autumn wears on and we get into the early part of winter. We get into bonfire night, we get into Halloween, we get into late night shopping, and then, of course, we get into Christmas. I looked at the Christmas tree that I put away the other day, thinking, I'll put it there because it'll be a year before I want it out again. And here it is. We're climbing into the area where I've now got to get the damn thing out again. Wow, where has the year gone? A year full of crises, full of bad governance, full of silly mistakes, the start of war again. What a year it's been. 2022 will go down as a bookmark in history. And if only thing that can erase that is if 2023 is worse than 2022. And God help us. All the signs are that it's going to be. But let's hope that we get people who can get a grip. What it means is about 600 people in the House of Commons will all resign. I can't see that. Oh, they're too... there was an item yesterday in the news about how much food, free, subsidised food in the House of Commons was dumped. Huge amounts. And really, okay, it's easy to say, oh, they shouldn't be doing this and they shouldn't be doing that when we're just as culpable ourselves. But the fact of the matter is, if we're going to tell people to be careful, if we're going to tell people to be prudent, if we're going to tell people to save, if we're going to tell people to look after the elderly and the poor, then we'd better start doing things at the top that indicate that our leaders are prepared to do it, instead of the privileged life that they do, stuffing their bloody pockets full of money, subsidised bars, subsidised food. There is no reason for it, absolutely none. And the issue of working late and so on, some of them should work in a newsroom. And that's what working late is. And not only that, you can't get up and go and have a cup of coffee. You're stuck. You're stuck looking after the daily news. Stuck looking after programs to make sure they go out on time. It's a very huge discipline. Oh dear. I'm sorry. It's time to go. So it's Keith Hayes, Mirador Television coming up, and with Rouser Radio, and we're going to say ta-ra. Here we go with As You Fade Away. I think.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Got a buildup of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control